What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start this show by being transparent. I did not have a good day yesterday. I lost in college basketball and I lost on the Knicks team total under in the NBA. So back to back losing days after a pretty hot 3 weeks. Have to get back on track here today. Rob Veno, it's good to be back with you. Hopefully, yesterday was better for you than it was for me.
It was slightly better, Ski 2-2 split, but the bigger plays were in college basketball where we went 2-0. College hoop did well. God, you and I couldn't get that game right if we put our heads together because I had Spurs team total over. Man, they made me mad fourth quarter. 94 at the end of three and then just disappeared in the fourth offensively. And I had the college football game yesterday, first half, Jacksonville State, Troy over 23 and a half. Got to 17. That's not enough. So we had a 2-2 day. But as I mentioned, the college hoop pulled us through. So that's what's been going good lately. College basketball 9-2, last 11. So we're happy with that.
All right. Let's talk about these two games for today. We have Cavs and Bulls. First up, opened up -5 for the Cavaliers, still sitting around there. Total open 240 and a half. Looks like 243 as far as the injury report. Merrill, Mobley, Nance, Struce, all out. Desumo is questionable for the Chicago Bulls. Um, these are two teams. I really don't want to back either one of them. Around, Cavaliers haven't really been able to play defense, haven't been covering. Bulls, they've been absolutely pathetic. They've been terrible. Um, it's hard. I guess I'd have to look towards like a player prop or something. And if I think about player props here, it'd have to be. I like Tyson. He's been getting more minutes. He's been shooting it well. He's been playing well. I would look towards his points at 12 and a half. Um, yeah, that'd probably be my favorite play in this game. Anything from you and Cavs and Bulls?
Yeah, I totally agree, Ski. I mean, it's not hard for us to agree on the fact that neither team is playing well. It's hard to back either side here. One's been worse than the other. I will say that, what would lean me slightly towards Cleveland, although there's no way I'm going to lay points with Cleveland. Um, Billy Donovan talking about his team and the injury situation, which has kind of dragged them down. He basically said, we're starting to get guys back, but we really haven't played much as a whole. And so it just leads you to believe that they're still trying to figure things out as they integrate people back into the lineup here, into the rotations. And who wants a part of that? You really don't. Neither side plays defense. The money thinks the total over is the right way to go, 240 and a half up to 242 and a half. Could be. I mean, neither side is playing any defense. So it's a possibility. These layoffs, though, now that the cup is over, we won't have them anymore. But there's been like two or three where you have a lot of time in between games, which again, I don't know how to handicap that until the game's over. Then I can tell you how it should have gone. But in this one, I think if you're playing some form of over, I wouldn't talk you off of it. I think maybe the Cavs need to be out of that arena because they were there last game they played and they got booed right out of their own home arena. So maybe getting on the road is good for them. And Chicago to me is just like I say, head coach Donovan's telling you, we really aren't there yet. Kobe White even had a quote. And again, I'll just paraphrase here because I don't have it in front of me, but he was speaking about his performance, saying he's not really worried about it. There's plenty of games left, not really indicating any sense of urgency, just that over time he'll get back to the norm. I don't know. I don't want Chicago. I don't want Cleveland. I'm not going to argue anybody who wants over in any capacity, whether it be I'll say that the Bulls are pretty good as a home underdog. 4-1 ATS is a home dog. If you want to look at that, if you're a technical trend player. But for me, it's no play, Ski.
All right, the next game is Grizzlies and Wolves. Opened up -8. It did drop, but looks like it's going back up to 8 or 8.5. Maybe we got some injury news here. Ja downgraded to doubtful, so that's what that is. Yeah, looking at 8 or 8.5. Total has come down from 233 and a half as low as 228 and a half. So Ja downgraded. Clark questionable, Edie out, the same other guy, Spencer also out, and the same other guys who are usually out for Memphis. So missing quite a bit for that side. For Minnesota, Ant is questionable. This Minnesota team hasn't been the best covering numbers. Um, but I feel like they should be able to cover versus, a Memphis team who's very short-handed tonight. I also think of the Timberwolves as a team who should be able to protect the paint and just force Memphis to shoot perimeter shots. If they do that, I think they can have success. I lean towards the Wolves this time. And if I'm betting player props, I mean, really, a lot of it is going to depend on Anthony Edwards' status. Um, Nas Reed could be a good guy to go with. He's been shooting the ball well lately. He's cleared his point prop. 6 of the last 7 games, he hit it. I think 5 of 6 without Ant so far this season too. So that could be one of the safer ones. But if Ant is out, I know McDaniels. He starts to take a lot more shots and has a more expanded role when Ant is out too. So just gonna monitor that before I make a play on this game. How do you feel on Grizzlies and Timberwolves, Rob Veno?
Well, I think one of the first things you said is the way I looked at it. We talked the other day because Zach Edey's been out a while about how there's really limited rim protection for the Grizzlies at this point in time. I happened to play their team total over the other night when they were playing the Clippers. Uh, that was kind of a simplistic play. It was just like Memphis is going to run and the Clippers can't run. And even if the Clippers win, Memphis should get over 112 and a half. But it turns out Memphis won the game straight up in pretty convincing fashion. Clippers really weren't in it. So we won that bet, but this is a different story. Minnesota, even without Anthony Edwards, is really athletic and they're huge at the rim. Randall's a really good rebounder. Gobert, of course, shot blocker. And for the other side, it's Jaren Jackson. And Salty Aldama is not going to stop anybody from scoring at the rim. So Minnesota's got a decisive edge, I think, here. They're as athletic. Now Memphis is probably down Ja as well. So the point guard gets handed over to Vince Edwards as it was, Vince Williams as it was earlier this year. There's not enough on this Memphis side as far as scoring, as far as size, as far as ball handling to make me want to play them second road game in 3 days. I know they had yesterday off, but you're coming from Los Angeles to Minnesota. I'd probably look at the Minnesota team here. Although, all that being said, if you play Minnesota, you got to tread lightly because they're just not covering numbers. They're not winning by margin at this point in time. But I do like what you said about they may just be too shorthanded, Memphis, at this point in time. And like I say, they're shorthanded in key areas that Minnesota can exploit. So for me, it would probably be Minnesota minus the 8. We see some 8.5s out there now. If you're going to play it, shop it, get the best number. I'm just looking at the currents here, Skee, while I talk to you. Total from 233.5 down now to 228.5 in some locales.
Yeah, big move towards that under. Um, I just I think I need more info on these games. I need the injury report to, you know, shore up, and that Cleveland game is just a disaster. So I don't know if we're gonna move it over to best bets, but I don't think I have one. So I'm gonna just pass it to you. I'll ask you if there's anything you would like to promote, and if you have a best bet for the show, we'd love to hear it. If you don't, it's okay.
Well, let's see. Promotion wise, I know Wager Talk's got a few new ones going on here. First off, I'll just say if you're a football better, Weekend Warrior still available this week for that. However, you've got football all week long. A lot of college bowls, 2 tonight, 1 every day for the next however many days. So there is a college bowl package, reduced price up and available, wagertalk.com. There's 10 days of service or 10 days of selections at a reduced rate as well. If you just want to go 10-day all sports route. And then, of course, you can get the NBA and college hoop, the basketball, 3 days for 49 that Skee generally flashes up on the screen for you here. That one I think is still active as well. I'm with you. It's hard for me to recommend anything in the NBA tonight. It's just too hard to play. Maybe if we were doing the show, like when you do your OG show later on, maybe you'll have a better feel for what the injury situation looks like. But for me, I didn't play either of these games. I will, however, go ahead and leave the audience with a play in college football tonight. I did play the bowl game between Louisiana and Delaware over the total of 61.5. So for those of you, I know we're doing a basketball show here, but we sometimes talk football. So I'll give you a college football play. Once again, Louisiana, Delaware up and over 61.5.
All right, good stuff, Rob Veno. And yeah, tomorrow we have a loaded slate, but tonight, very, very slim picking. So it's going to be one of those days where I do not leave a best bet. But Vino, it's always great breaking these games down with you. I appreciate you taking the time to do so. Shout out to everybody in the chat tapping in as well. Gio said, first time on live on this one. Always trying to make it to the OG show. Let's go, Vino and Skee. Yeah, appreciate all you guys out there. So we'll be back again tomorrow. Like I said, we'll have a lot better games to talk about and a football game as well. So best of luck on all your action tonight, and we will catch you all tomorrow.